The main idea of this lesson is to really get students critically thinking about what they're reading, whether it's news articles, literature, and not only critically thinking, using a technique, thinking about words, the connotation and denotation of words. So first of all, we define connotation and denotation, and then we applied it to a book that we read, A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park. And the idea is that students start seeing, our word choice. It's kind of like the clothes we wear. It shows the identity, and it changes the mood, and it changes the tone of a story just by word choice. And that happens a lot, I think, when we look specifically at Sudan, and I talked a little about my experience in Cape Verde as well. But when we think about Africa, for example, we have this certain kind of stereotype in our mind of what Africa is, just based off of articles, based off of words that people have put together to describe that. So really kind of breaking that down and analyzing it and applying their knowledge of connotation and denotation.
Nice, interesting. Where do you think a lot of these images come from? Is it our experience? Is it media? Where do you think it's coming from?
These words.
These images, like when I say tribal, where do you think your images and feelings come from? Is it TV? Is it news? Is it books you've read? Where do you think it comes from, Lucy?
I think it's things we've seen. Because like when you said tribal, I thought of some movie episode or show episode where they were talking about Hawaiian tribes.
Yeah. I think a lot of TV, for me personally, maybe shows or images I've seen or magazines. So Ethan had a guess. Maybe these words came from A Long Walk to Water. That's a good guess. Actually, some of these words you will see in A Long Walk to Water. You did see when you read it. Actually, all these words came from my experience in Cape Verde. So I want to explain, first of all, when I started thinking about connotation and denotation, this is a great way for us to think about it. Because even when I would tell people, I did Peace Corps, I lived in Cape Verde for 2 years. First of all, if they didn't know where Cape Verde was and I said Africa, what do you think people automatically ask me or thought of? What do you think of when you hear the word Africa? Chris?
You get sick.
Okay, maybe you think of people that are sick. Yeah, that's a good point. Because we see on TV, what do we see?
Kids that are really thin and they don't have any food to eat.
Yeah, you think of starving children, maybe. Julia?
Muddy water and deserts.
Muddy water, deserts. What else do you think of? Emma, what do you think of when you think of Africa?
Grasslands.
Grasslands, okay. Anything else? Bobby?
Poverty.
Poverty. Rylan, what do you think
I
of?
think it relaxing.
I'm glad you said that because so many people said, did you ride an elephant? Or, did you see giraffes? Did you see zebras? Did you go on a safari? Well, Africa's huge.
Yeah.
Everywhere in Africa is not the same. So we automatically have connotations of even the word Africa. Like we said, some of us think of starving children or poverty or, safaris, which in some cases that may be true, but not in all cases. You can realize, even when we say places around the world, words are associated with feelings and images. And the big thing I want you to get out of today is that, we automatically have images and ideas in our mind just because of what we've seen on TV or what people have told us or pictures we've seen. So it's really good to know where these connotations, where these feelings and images come from. So these were all terms that people would ask me about.
And we're also going to read a poem, and I think I put it on here at Extended Learning Opportunities. It's called Speak Up, and it's all about stereotypes and, this girl comes to school and just the way that she's viewed and, her native language is different, and so they think she's weird. And so thinking about our own stereotypes and where they come from. And eventually, hopefully, also looking at magazines and how different people are represented in the media. And again, this comes from images, but it's also connotation of words. I mean, it's really huge. Your word choice can changes in whole article.